Okay, hello everybody. My name is Heidi Ellsworth, and welcome to this month's Read, Listen, Watch with Roofers from Roofers Coffee Shop. I'm so happy to have you all here today. We have an amazing webinar for you today. It is from the leaders in the industry, TAMKO, and they're going to be talking about their new Titan XT. I am really excited about this. As many of you know, I love to see what's going on out there in residential and shingles and how they're made. And you're going to have a special peek on really what is the next step, the next generation in performance in the industry. So before we get started, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. So first of all, this is being recorded. And you will be able to share this. You'll be able to watch it again. You'll be able to talk to everybody as we get it up online, which should be by tomorrow morning. So be sure to share this after and feel free to go back and watch it anytime, along with all of our RLWs that are on Roofers Coffee Shop. Also, we are going to have questions at the end. We're going to have some polls, some fun stuff throughout the presentation. So please save your questions or put them into the chat. Megan Ellsworth, our producer, is in the backside, and she'll be chatting and sharing things as we go throughout the webinar. And we want to know your questions and your thoughts. Just share what you're thinking about this great new technology. So let's get started with this month's RLW. Experience Titan XT as it transforms roofing. I already told you that. This is what it's going to be all about. We're going to be talking about what this next generation of performance and extreme technology is all about. And I want to introduce our panelists today, our experts in the industry. And so first of all, I'd like to introduce Kim Eckerman, the Director of Marketing and Communications at TAMKO. Kim, welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you for having us today, Heidi.
Great. Kim, can you share just a little bit about yourself and about we're going to talk more about TAMKO in a minute, but just a little bit about you and your career in roofing?
Yeah, so I've been with TAMKO for about a decade altogether. Really enjoy working in the roofing industry and all the interesting places that it takes us, right?
Right.
Truly never been a more exciting time for TAMKO than we have right now. Really leading the way with our new line of performance products. So excited to talk more about Titan XT today.
That's great. That's great. Thank you. Thank you for being here and sharing this information. I next would like to introduce Melissa Dunson, the Manager of Marketing and Communications at TAMKO. Melissa, welcome.
Hey, Heidi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. That's so nice. Hey, share a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I've been at TAMKO for about a dozen years, and I worked in the communication side of the business. I came from print journalism, so really enjoy getting other people's stories and kind of putting it all together, lots of research. And so I've been able to take a lot of that into what I do for TAMKO. And really, you're going to hear more about how we came up with the Titan XT shingle, but using sort of like stories from people and really understanding what our audience want. But really passionate about marketing, really passionate about communications, passionate about contractors, and passionate about TAMKO.
I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much. And finally, but definitely not least, I would like to introduce Chris Freeborg, who is who is a West Point, who is product development and R&D with TAMKO. Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, a lot of words in that title. So okay. Yeah. So good afternoon. So yeah, my name's Chris. I kind of like Kim. I started in 2012 after being in the Army for about 6 years, and so I came up through our process improvement areas. So that's kind of where I spent the first half of my career, and then we started with innovation and doing some R&D and product development work for the last 3 or 4 years, and getting an opportunity to work with Kim and Melissa and with trying to develop, again, like what we're going to talk about today, kind of the next generation of where do we want to take our product line, what does it need to be able to do, and how do we meet the needs of our customers. So very exciting.
Great. Good. Thank you all for being here today. So before we get started on the Titan, I really was hoping, Kim, I'd love for you to share some of the history of TAMKO, because it is so rich and there's so much great stuff there. So maybe you could share a little bit about that with us.
Yeah, happy to and excited to. Coming from the communication side of our company and into marketing now, we're very familiar with the rich history of TAMKO, and it's one of the things I love most about our company. We truly are the American story of entrepreneurialism and that entrepreneurial spirit, which many of our roofing contractors are as well, right? They're starting their business from the ground up. And that is our story as well, right? Started in 1944 by E.L. Craig, then led by his daughter, Ethel May Humphreys, who we all know was the matriarch of the roofing industry. Unfortunately, she did pass away last December, but we are continuing to honor her as we move forward and grow as a company. She laid a beautiful foundation for us, and then passing the reins on to her son, David Humphreys, who is now leading our company and continues to do so. So family led, but we truly do have a nationwide footprint. We've got manufacturing across the United States. We supply the entire United States with roofing. And foundationally, continuous improvement is where we're rooted, right? We started with that in the early 80s when it first became a thing. If you've never heard of Dr. W. Edwards Deming, you have at TAMKO. Very, very important to who we are, and driven into every piece of what we do, right? And our day-to-day operations to our product development, all across the board. We also have integrated Six Sigma with that, right? So driving for continuous improvement, but also effectiveness in what we're doing with that to make sure that we have top quality products across the board, and that we're able to make things consistently, have consistent supplies on our end to continue to provide our customers and contractors with the best products we can on a regular basis. And we are coming up on our 20th anniversary of Six Sigma for us actually this year. Customer experience is the thing that I'm most passionate about, really, and we've really worked hard to bring that focus into what we're doing across marketing, product development, especially from the communication side as well, and making sure that we're connecting with our customers and understanding what their needs are and fulfilling those. And you're going to hear a lot more about how we did that with every aspect of Titan XT. Truly, that was built on customer demand and meeting their needs. And that last point you see there, innovation and technology, is the red thread throughout everything we do at TAMKO. Every decision we make across the board, innovation is driven into our decisions. So we have a deep, rich history, but we don't hinge upon what we've done in the past for necessarily what that means we're going to do in the future. We're always looking to improve and innovate and move beyond. And technology, we have so much exciting technology. And excited to talk more about all the new technology and the components that we've incorporated within Titan XT. So yeah, we are the American dream story. We really are. So
that is awesome. So such a rich history. Thank you, Kim. And so we, as part of this, what we wanted to do first off is just find out how many of you have heard about the Titan XT shingle. So if you, Megan is going to launch this poll, and if you can just real quick, let us know, have you heard of the Titan XT shingle? And if not, that's okay too, because you're going to learn a lot about it today. I know. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll move to our next. Perfect. Okay. Yes. Majority is yes, has heard of it. So that is excellent. Okay. The development of the Titan XT shingle. Melissa, can you kind of talk to us about this?
Yes.
This is so cool. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, Kim talked about customer experience and just really seeking to understand, and part of our background of really the communication side of thing and journalism, and asking questions like, what is missing in the industry right now? What are the biggest issues that homeowners are facing? What are the biggest issues that contractors are facing? What would make a distributor more likely to want to carry one shingle over another? What are the problems that are existing that nobody else is really providing solutions for? And so that was really our motivation. And so there was some sitting back, there was some listening, there was some watching, there was asking. And we really went to the source. I mean, we went to contractors and asked them, what do they need? What did they want? What would benefit their business? And then we built a shingle to do all of that. And as a result, right, the way that we've done this, Kim was talking about innovation and technology. And we talk about this all the time, that really innovation and technology for the sake of innovation and technology doesn't make any sense. But it's innovation and technology, a focus on those things toward the goal of enhanced performance, right? That's the reason that you invest in innovation and technology. And so as a result of us listening and watching and learning, and then putting all of that into one ultimate shingle, we've created TAMKO's most advanced shingles ever with our ProLine series, and really the flagship product of that is the Titan XT. I mean, the XT at the little end of Titan stands for extreme technology. We added it right into the name.
I love it. I love it. So, Chris, this is really, when we're talking about one of TAMKO's most advanced shingles ever. Why?
Yeah, and I think we're going to walk through that in a little more detail, but there's, when you talk about the shingle itself, it's really a system, and that'll be probably the theme or kind of the highlight that we'll talk throughout this hour. But when you look at the various technologies and what are we trying to do and what are we trying to achieve, what are the pain stakes for roofers? There's different means and ways that we need to do that. And so as Melissa, referenced, the way I look at it, my team looks at it, are functional requirements, right? And the end state customer, the homeowner, has certain things that they need, right? They need a quality shingle that's not going to blow off their roof, even in high winds. They need a shingle that's not going to lose granules. They need something that looks aesthetically pleasing and matches their house and has a range of colors. And for a roofer, it needs to be something that is easy to handle, and it can be installed quickly, and have those options. And they know they can install it correctly, and they're not losing time having to do that. And so we took those as really a basis. And when you talk about the technology, and we'll get into the different categories, we took each of those and said, okay, how can these various components, there's only about 6, 7, 8 components that come to a standard shingle. How can we use those to achieve these requirements that we need for our customer set?
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that extreme technology. So Melissa.
Look at me, I'm rubbing my hands together. I love talking about this so much. Like, I get so pumped up about it, right? So we've already talked about going and looking, not only talking to contractors, but seeing what was on the market already, right? We're not a Me Too company. And so we decided that we were going to go in, and that we were going to take the best of this and the best of this and really create a shingle that had all the things, all the advanced features that a contractor and a homeowner would want. And so it includes a proprietary reinforcement of that nail line in the common bond. It includes advanced sealants that are very aggressive and so sticky. It includes really an innovative high wind warranty that we're hearing fabulous things from contractors and homeowners about it. It's an enhanced and increased top coating, and we're going to talk about that more specifically. And then TAMKO's always had the very best colors in the industry. Like, I'll say it over and over again, not apologizing for it. There's a reason, and we're going to talk about that. It's because of technology. That's why we have the best colors. And then really to Chris's point, I don't know if he wants to talk about it anymore, but right, it's not one thing and then this separate thing. It's making sure this and this and this and this are all working together. So together, it's greater than they are apart, and they're working together in a system fashion.
Yeah. Wow. Just real quick too here, Kim, I would love for you to just, when you were looking at this, we really bring it to the market, and you've been involved on the top levels of TAMKO as all of this has been coming through. This had to be extraordinary to see all of this coming together.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we did our research, right? We knew what the market was after, and we were thrilled to be able to put it together. We had the right team, we had the right focus, and it's something that we were all passionate about. And it's exciting to see it come out and being received as well as we had hoped it would be, right? And this isn't just a product with marketing claims. This is a product that performs and lives up to those marketing claims. And so we're excited to share each of those with you and talk about how those technologies work together to give it the performance attributes that it has.
Okay, well, let's talk about some of those. So before we do that, we're going to do one more poll. Actually, we have 2 more polls, so we're going to do one right now. And we're going to ask, have you used the Titan XT shingle yet? And I think that's fast enough. Okay, Megan. Oh, it's 50-50. Very cool. Okay, awesome. Very good. Okay, well then this is going to be good because you're going to get some folks who are going to be seeing it. So let's start out with, and Melissa, we'll just start with you on the rapid fire zone.
I mean, installation, it matters a lot to contractors, and more so even in the last couple of years than it's even in the years before that. But right, this whole idea of like, we need it to be easy to install because labor is an issue right now. And so that is a major benefit to contractors. I don't think I have to convince anybody on this call that having a wider nail zone makes something faster and easier to install. Some of the things that we've heard from contractors who have gone ahead and installed Titan, they're like, listen, if you can't install this shingle, like, you probably shouldn't be in roofing because it's so easy. It's got this double paint line. It's a big nailing zone that's significantly larger than any nailing zone any defined nailing zone that we have. It's super easy to hit. And it's something that contractors have said, I think we heard, this will definitely be a lot easier to install. This will definitely be a lot faster to install. If you can't hit that, you shouldn't be in roofing. Those are three of the comments I remember off the top of my head coming from contractors.
Yeah, well, and we even timed the install too with our focus group of contractors when we tested this shingle, and it's definitely faster.
Chris,
yeah, and one more thing. There are other people who have wide nail zones. One of the things that we love about Titan XT and that contractors have told us they really love is, we're going to talk about this technology in a little bit, but you can install anywhere in that wide nail zone with the confidence that all of that wide nail zone is reinforced. So you're not, right? You don't have to worry about it because all of that wide nail zone is reinforced, which is the reason that, and again, we'll talk about this in a little bit, but we can offer this high wind warranty, even with a wide nail zone, even with fewer nails, right?
Wow. And so Chris, just talk a little bit too on this. It's just like what Kim just said, you guys tested it. How much of the testing and the R&D and the product development, you did a huge amount of that with the contractors, right?
Yeah, we did it with the contractors, and then obviously we test in our lab and at various facilities, both ours and third party. And to Melissa's point, obviously the rapid fire zone that really hits the installer's need, and we wanted to give an area that's easy to hit, easy to be able to do. But at the same time, from a homeowner perspective, right? Let's switch kind of gears to the customer set. You want to be able to offer that for the installer, but at the same time, you don't want to increase the risk to the homeowner that the shingle's not going to hold, right? Or for the installer that you're going to get nail blow-throughs, and the nail kind of permanently goes through the shingle as you're installing it, and at that point is basically not functional. And so a large part of our testing was to say, okay, how wide do we want to make it? Where do we want to put the zone? And how do we ensure that when you nail in that what we call extended nail zone, anything above the common bond, you're getting the same wind resistance and strength as if you were to, or more, as if you were to go through the common bond. And those were kind of the test criteria and standards that we wanted to do. And we'll talk, how we achieve that a little bit through some of the development of the actual anchor lock layer, the poly strip that's on the back. But those were a lot of the considerations that we looked at to make sure that we're not only providing ease of installation, we're continuing to provide a high quality shingle for the lifespan of it being on the roof. Yeah,
that's an important balance to put all that together. So Melissa, talk a little bit Ultramax weathering layer. I love that. Ultramax. So yeah, how does that work?
Well, right, the name tells you what it does.
Yeah.
And so, one of the main things is like shingles need to weather, right? They need to be easy to install, and they need to stay on the roof, and they need to look good, and they need to weather well. And so TAMKO really went and we looked at our formulations, and Chris's team, he's going to be able to speak so eloquently to this, but being able to go in and really take a list of performance criteria and carefully curate formulations in a way that gives us criteria, say like it has this has to meet these criteria, has to perform in this way. And then also we've gone in and actually done proprietary engineering that has allowed us to put more top coating right on the top of the shingle where it's needed most to really perform. I don't know, Chris, if you want to talk at all about, like, it's your team who has done so much of this particular technology.
Yeah, no, I think you hit it, categorically. In one of the earlier slides, it talks about enhanced and increased, right? And when we talk about the enhanced, what we're really talking about, it kind of starts with what coatings do we select? You know, there's a lot of various coatings that you can get, paving grades and non-paving grades, and you know, you get into the kind of chemistry and asphalt aspects of it. But the short version is not all asphalts are created equal. They don't weather the same. They don't have the same adhesion. They don't perform the same in terms of what you would expect from a functional shingle. And so, you know, where we start is, and we've got some proprietary testing and different methods that we do in-house to be able to determine which coatings meet the quality requirements and the standards that we have. And kind of sets this base standpoint of what we can use in our products. And then from there, you know, and we use different additives and other things to be able to ensure that the coatings are going to meet those lifespans. And then, you know, from there, it's from a process perspective, we want to make sure that we're getting the right amount of coating in the right place consistently throughout the shingle, right? And you'll hear me say this a lot. It kind of all starts with the granules and making sure that you can hold on to the granule, especially as it relates to other characteristics like the sealant and the polymat and those kind of things that we'll talk about later on. But what we're getting at here with the Ultramax weathering layer is to ensure that, you know, when you're combating things like erosion, UV, those kind of, you know, weathering moisture, whether that's ice, snow, you know, water, those things are kind of the enemy of a shingle, right? Water is a naturally destructive force. And so we actively do testing to try to make sure that the coatings and the way that we make it, and the amount that's on there and how we embed those granules allow us to withstand that for the lifespan of the shingle.
Well, and as a result, I'm just telling you, it says feel the difference at the bottom, and I'm just saying that we've actually had contractors. I mean, the effect of this coating is that when contractors have picked up Titan XT, it's the first thing contractors do, right? They run their hand over it, right, and they're like, man, that's a good shingle. I mean, that's what they've told us. They can feel the difference of it. Yeah.
Well, and I just want to add to that too, that what you're hearing from Chris and continue from Melissa, right, is that this is a great example of that red thread of innovation and technology throughout what we're doing, right? Applying our continuous improvement and Six Sigma methodologies to improve upon and have better technologies in these shingles. And so that iterates throughout our product lines as well too. So it's just this is a really great example of that continuous improvement effort.
And that's what, Kim, I was going to ask you about that too. And Melissa, you guys said it because you really can feel it. And how every contractor, you know, they'll pick it up and they'll touch it, feel it, bend it and everything. We're going to talk more about that in a little bit too. So, okay. Anchor lock. You've mentioned this a couple times, Melissa, the anchor lock layer.
This is my favorite one, you guys. This is and I say it's my favorite. They're all my favorite. They're all my children. No, this one's my favorite because I actually think it's such a unique technology for not only TAMKO, but for the ProLine shingles. And it's, in my opinion, it's one of the major things that sets Titan XT apart from other shingles. So it is a proprietary reinforcement. I'm going to let Chris talk about why it's so amazing here in a second, but we do produce it in-house. It is proprietary. It is unique to TAMKO. It has unique properties, not only in the way that we make it, but also in the way that we use it in the construction of the shingle. And as a result, its performance is also unique. So Chris, you talk about it in such a wonderful way. Please tell us about why this polystrip is so unique.
Setting the bar high, Melissa.
Well, it's I get so excited about it.
Yeah, but to your point, you know, so we do make this in-house. I think if you get the shingle, the first thing you're going to notice with our polystrip is that it's what we call a non-woven versus a woven, right? So it's not that tarp-like feel that you get from other polyester strips. It's what we call a non-woven. And one of the advantages of that is it's not only a non-woven, but you'll notice it's intentionally textured, meaning that it's some of the polyester is able to kind of feel out similar to like a shirt would. But what that does is it allows it to embed better inside the asphalt. So if you imagine the asphalt when it's applied, it has something to grab onto. It's able to kind of interweave and embed itself into the polyester, which not only strengthens it, but also Again, we talked about a system bond, right? One of the things we've noticed when we use other polystrips or when we've seen it with other materials is that if with a woven in particular, you can kind of pick at it and it'll peel off like a piece of tape. And so it doesn't matter at that point really how strong the polyester strip is. The weakest point is the link between it and the asphalt. So if I'm pulling against it, the first thing that's going to happen is it's going to pop that off, and I lose a lot of the strength of the overall system, or in this case, the shingle. And so one of the big things that we emphasized was, and it was designed to do this, was to allow that, as it's kind of shown here, that unique embedded construction, right? And so that's materialistically, that's the first thing that I think you'll notice, because really you're not going to be able to get that poly strip up. It's going to rip, it's going to tear, it's going to have to fuzz out before you're able to actually separate it from the shingle. The second thing, though, is really the location of it. And it's kind of twofold. So the first thing you'll notice is that intentionally that polystrip it starts in the common bond area and works its way up. So we intentionally put it in the common bond because for the same reasons that you get, stronger embedment with nail pull through and things like that, it also helps to enhance the capability of the laminate, right? So you've got a laminate strip that's there in the common bond that really helps to ensure, even if you don't mechanically seal it, which we used to do with nailing through the common bond, and you nail higher, now that shim lane or that bottom lane and the sawtooth, so the architectural side, the thing that's holding that on, even in a steep slope, even in the summer times and hot conditions, is that laminate. And so the polyester actually helps to reinforce that and give it even more strength and even more rigor to ensure that it's never going to slip, right? And then we put it on the backside because when you look at how is a shingle going to come up, right? If let's say the sealant were to adhere or what have you, and to get a high wind day, the polyester is really going to hold that shingle on the deck. That's its job. Its job is to make sure the shingle doesn't blow off even in high winds. And when we ran our testing, if you put it on the top, what we noticed is that the way the nail comes through when the shingle bends back, it has a higher propensity to pull the polyester off just because of the directionality of how that's moving, versus on the back. Now you have to go through the entirety of the shingle, both the top layer, kind of that ultra max weathering layer, plus the polyester, just to be able to disassemble. You're pulling in a different direction, and it really enhanced, almost doubled the pull strength, the amount of force required to actually lift that up. And so putting it on the backside what was another intentional aspect of what we did. And then the last part, the other aspect of it being a non-woven is, frankly, it's easier to cut, right? So, we want to be able to provide that strength. We want to make sure that the nails don't ever come out, that the sealant's that the shingle is going to stay on the deck. And it helps with the blow through, like we talked about earlier, when you're nailing it in. But at the same time, functionally, roofers got to be able to cut it, got to be able to, cut down, put into valleys, do other things. And so the advantage of this is it's textured in a way that allows it to do that in an easier fashion.
Yeah, that's something that we, the immediate question that came from contractors, okay, that's all well and good, but I have to cut this shingle. How does it cut? And overwhelmingly what we've heard from the field is that, man, that cuts really clean.
Wow.
And they really like it. It's super, trying to tear it is a beast, and it cuts right through, clean, not raggedy edges, and they love it.
I love too, when you think about what are some of the issues out there right now, and a big of them we all know is our labor force, and also so many of our skilled craftsmen and women are aging out. So we have a whole new generation coming in. The expanded nail zone and just the way it cuts, to me, that makes so much sense, because you're making it easier for new people coming into the industry also. What kind of feedback are you getting on all of this from the contractors? You said they're just loving it.
Yeah, I just had a Titan roof put on my personal home last fall, and the contractors, most of them had never used it before, the installers. And so as they're installing, I'm asking them, because I was involved in all of this, and I want to know, what do you think about it? And they're kind of surprised. They're like, it cuts so clean. Like, this is, and it lays really great. And like, I really like this shingle, and it feels good. And so they were all really, really positive about it.
Yeah. By the way, everybody who's out there, there is a video of the install on
It
Melissa's
is.
house. So yeah, you can see it.
Go to tamko.com/experience Titan, and you can watch a video that features some of the install at my house.
Yeah, I know. How cool is that? Okay. So some more of the technology, the advanced fusion sealants. Melissa, why don't you start us out on that?
Yeah, this is really, I mean, we're working our way to getting to talk about our really unique high wind warranty. And so the anchor lock layer, such an important part of that. And this other just as important part of that are these advanced fusion sealants that are designed to be super sticky, even in cold weather. And I'm going to let Chris talk about it because it's chemistry.
Yeah, so I mean, kind of like the name implies, advanced fusion. When you look at sealant, there's really three areas that we really design or ensure that the sealant is designed for. And the first is, traditional strength, right? It needs to have the ability, that natural adhesion ability, not only to the shingle below it, but also to itself. It can't be super soft. Think about bubble gum, right? It stretches, it's sticky, but it's not very strong. So I can rip it off and it really doesn't matter if a shingle flies off how it broke. Is it because the sealant broke from itself or broke from the shingle below it? If it breaks, that's a bad day. So we want to be able to kind of account for all of those different interactions. That's kind of your general strength. And part of that's why at the bottom it talks about granule placement. You'll notice that intentionally the sealant is hitting granules as opposed to, let's say, an asphalt or kind of what we call the head lap displacement zone. And part of the reason for that is to help ensure it. The way I look at it, it's like trying to pick up a plate versus a barbell. For those that do weightlifting, right? Because granules are porous, and the sealant can then interweave itself not only around the granules but in and through them, and it creates this much more solid. If you think about just the number of contact points between that versus even the asphalt that it'd be connecting with, it just gives a lot more solid connection and gives a much more robust connection point. So that's the first thing, is the strength. The second, though, is really the compressive resistance, right? If you look at a shingle, there's a time gap between when we make it and it's in a pallet, and it can be sitting in a distributor's yard over the summer and before it actually comes up on your roof. And so we want to make sure is that we may put a sealant that's this thick initially, but we want to make sure it doesn't flatten out. So how do we design that the sealant doesn't actually flatten out prior to reaching the roof, so it can actually touch and make sure it gets a good seal? And so part of the properties we look at are that. And then the third is what Melissa alluded to, was the tackiness, right? How sticky is it? And really what that means is how likely is it to adhere even in cold temperatures? And there's various testing that we can do to really determine, what temperature is it going to be able to adhere, and is that sufficient based on rooftop temperatures and even being able to do that. And, just to give you an idea of some of the testing that we do, for example, we had a winter storm that came through here in Missouri about a month or so ago. And we happened to have some shingles that were out in the yard during that time. And then the next morning it was about 20 degrees and sunny out. And so we took those out and put them on a test deck and wanted to see, how well do they adhere, how well do they install, and all that kind of stuff. And one of the things we noticed is that even in it was 20 degrees ambient, sunny day, the sealant adhered within a few hours of installation on a test deck after it'd been there
wow.
Through a winter storm. And so that kind of, there's lab testing that we can do, and then there's what we call real life performance testing. And it really gives us confidence that the sealants that we're putting out there, as it's mentioned here, really are able to seal quickly in all conditions to ensure that once you put it on, it's not going to go away.
Kim, as I'm looking at all of these technologies and we're looking at what it's doing for the homeowner, I mean, really, let's think about the owner, right, on their house and all of these different technologies. And I love this. I love the line, helped inspire 160-mile-per-hour high wind warranty. And I know we're going to get this to a minute, but what, when I think about just the drive of TAMKO behind all of this, and all the leaders in your company, how is all of this, it's so inspired?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. I think support from the top down, right? Executives being invested in this and wanting this type of product for us, and knowing that it was necessary for where the market is headed, and being on the front edge of that, and knowing that that's where we want to be, right? We've got to continue to push forward with our innovation and development, and then having our teams working so diligently to run through these technologies and figure out how they work together to make the ultimate shingle, right? It's not just about fixing this, fixing that, tweaking here. It's about the entire system of that technology working on top of itself. So there have been a lot of inspiring moments, and I think that it's reinvigorating where we're headed. It's exciting.
And you're meeting the needs, and that's really what we're going to talk about on this next slide, because we know what's been happening with the weather. I mean, we are having extreme weather, and how are we protecting our ultimate end users, the homeowners and building owners out there? Melissa, talk about the highest wind protection. How is this working?
This is TAMKO's highest wind protection wind coverage we've ever offered. And so it is up to 160 miles per hour. We are only requiring 4 nails in the shingle anywhere in that expanded nailing zone when you use TAMKO starter with it. And like we've already said, this is not like a pie in the sky. We picked a number. It was inspired by the performance that Chris and his team found in the anchor lock layer. And then when you combined it with the advanced fusion sealants into really this system approach, we'd identified, right, if the shingle is going to fail due to high winds, like these are the 2 areas. And so we bolstered that. And this shingle, it's not just like a number we put out there. We've actually seen this shingle perform. So on this slide, this was sent to us by a contractor. So this is a big multifamily unit, right, in Texas. And he had installed Titan XT. I think it may have been like one of his first Titan XT jobs, but had installed it. And then like it was like a week later, a hurricane came through, and right next to the one he had just put Titan on was another giant complex that had a competitor shingle on it, which you can tell did not fare very well. Right. And as a result, this contractor was so impressed and said, I've never really seen wind performance like this, and has become really a wonderful advocate for this product in high wind areas like Texas, like Louisiana, like parts of the Midwest. And when contractors, that's what we found, and we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but that's what we found, is that when contractors hold this shingle in their hand, they're like, man, that's a good shingle. And then when they install it, they're like, I think I'd like to install that again. And then when they see it actually perform in weather, then they become believers, and then they don't want to use anything less than Titan.
That's right. Go ahead, Kim.
I was just gonna say, it's why I love this story, right, that we're sharing with you, because that's about what brand loyalty is about. You know, let me see it, let me try it, and then you get to witness the performance of it. And this is a fantastic example of that, because this contractor has become a brand loyalist, right? Titan is what they lead with now. And it's been exciting to see that transformation, and to be able to know that your product is performing to even sometimes better than expected standards, and making their lives better.
Yeah. And I have one more contractor story to share, because I just thought of it. I'd forgotten. We actually had, it was a TAMKO employee who was getting a Titan roof, and we had a kind of a freak windstorm here in the Midwest. And I don't remember, do you remember, Chris or Kim, what the top speeds were? It was really, really high winds.
Yeah, 70 to 100 plus.
70 plus up to gusts of 100, right? It was a really high winds. So this was happening in the middle of this install. The winds got so high, and this was in like it was pretty cool weather. So I think it was maybe like November. If the winds were so high that the crew had to abandon the project halfway through the roof install, because it was so dangerous for them to be on the roof, right? That they actually said, I'm so sorry, we have to get off the roof because it's too dangerous for our guys. So they get off. And so the shingles that are on there, the Titan shingles, were simply being held on 70 plus to 100 mile per hour wind gusts, being held on by the anchor lock layer, the nails through the anchor lock layer, and the immediate tackiness of that sealant. And that roof did not lose a single shingle, not a single shingle. And that TAMKO employee was so astonished. The roofer who was doing this person's house was so astonished by it. And I think that's one of the reasons we get so excited about talking about Titan XT, is because it's performing, and people are seeing it perform. People are impressed. We're constantly amazed by the things it's able to do. And so it makes it really easy to talk about it, because we don't have to stress the truth. It's just, it is what it is.
That that just amazes me. And I've had some experience with shingles throughout my career. And I know, I mean, the high wind, knowing it's going to stay there. But the thing from this and from your stories, the thing that just astounds me is only 4 nails. Yeah. So Chris, can you talk about that just a little bit? I mean, I know there's going to be some people out there who are going to go, yeah, right. Only 4 nails for that.
Yeah. I mean, the reality of it is we actually tested with less than that. We did a lot of testing with only 3, and not that I'm advocating to only
not recommended.
Yeah, I think it speaks to kind of what we were talking about with the other technology, right? And so what we found is that I know when I was having my house installed, most roofers were saying, no, I need 5 or even 6 just to make sure that you get high wind and those kind of things. And that obviously adds cost to the roofer, it adds time to the installation, all that kind of stuff. And so we said, hey, if we really want to provide benefit, how can we allow them to do this not only quicker but cheaper, and not have to invest all that? Because I mean, we're seeing it now, right, with inflation, nail costs even. I mean, that's a big deal.
You can get them.
So yeah, I mean, when we did the testing, and we've got various facilities, there's third parties that can get up to, we went up to beyond 160, and really gave us a lot of confidence. And as we were developing it, very pleased to see those results.
That is great. Wow. Talk about game changing. I mean, huge. Okay. Now we're to you kind of talked about this at the beginning a little bit, Melissa, and got everybody all excited. So let's talk about the Apex color technology.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a new technology for TAMKO, but I love talking about it in the whole suite of technologies that TAMKO has developed. This is one that we've been doing for a long time, and contractors have been telling us, I've always thought you guys had the best colors, and here's the deal. We do have the best shingle colors. And it's because we do things different. It's because of innovation and technology. So TAMKO has proprietary granule blends. That's one thing. And then proprietary granule drops. And as a result, our colors are brighter. The blends are a lot more natural. We have a better shadow tone, which is that sort of darkened area underneath that gives it really that dimensional pop. And we have classic colors, right? Which is, they're very rich, very traditional colors. But then we also have this color line, America's Natural Colors, that have these highly varied, really brightly contrasted blends. Some of our most popular shingles, like Thunderstorm Gray, which is a very iconic color for TAMKO, it's people can be driving down the road and see it and like, that is TAMKO Thunderstorm Gray. Nothing else looks like that. And it's very, very popular with contractors. And my little plug is, if you loved Titan XT, but you couldn't find it in one of these colors, surprise, we've actually recently expanded the color line of Titan XT. It now includes all of our popular ANC colors, those America's Natural Colors, those highly varied blends. Every single color that we have in that line now available in Titan XT. And then almost our entire classic color collection as well. I mean, it's a massive expansion. But it's really a testament to how popular these shingles have been, and to the customer demand, specifically from re-roof contractors. Homeowners want these colors, so contractors want these colors, and we're over here going, great, you can have them.
Wow. I mean, when you think about that, Kim, we've seen the huge explosion of home improvement during COVID, and homeowners want a distinctive look. They want a distinctive look, but yet that fits and blends. I've been around way too long, but I can remember when there would be like these hot spots and you're like, what's going on with that roof? So what are you hearing, not only from the contractors, but just what the contractors are hearing from the homeowners about the colors?
Yeah, so TAMKO's always had fantastic color offerings, and we do a great job of keeping our color mix available, right, and widely available. Due to our the way we manufacture and how all of that works together, and fantastic people on our supply chain side that make sure all of that good stuff happens. Well, need to give them a shout out. But yeah, I mean, they love our colors, right? They appreciate how natural they are. They appreciate they don't get that zippering that sometimes you can get with other brands. You're not having to mix shingles throughout the roof. You're able to pull from your bundle and just go. That's what we hear, right? And that's really what their experience has been. So the fact that we are expanding that color offering, again, as Melissa said, it's just a testament to how this Titan line is taking off, and that this truly is the ultimate re-roof shingle, because that re-roof market, they're the ones who are after color, right? Everybody loves their weathered wood and their rustic black. And I will tell you, we are told time and time again, you have the best weathered wood and you have the richest, darkest rustic black. So those are, those are really your bread and butter. And we have great versions of those as well. But then to be able to offer the expansion of those and now integrate that with the Titan XT line is exciting. And I think just opens up the opportunity for our contractors even more, because they have such a wide palette to offer. And that's what homeowners are after. Even if they decide to go with weathered wood, they still want to see all the colors that are out there.
Right, right. Well, the architecture, all the different architectures, you need that expansion, you need that variety, because people are just doing great things in home improvement, and they're starting to realize the roof is a big part of that. That's the curb appeal, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to take a poll here. So Megan, we're going to launch this poll. So we want to find out what, after learning about Titan and all the extreme technology, what would you like to do to request a Titan XT shingle to try it for free? And this is the truth. You're going to hear this on the next slide, but they'll ship it to you. So you can play with it and do that. Find out where I can get Titan XT, or get additional information about Titan XT. And you can do 1, 2, or 3, all of them, however you want to do that. So we want to kind of see what you think, and then we're going to go and talk a little bit about this as we go through, because there's a lot that this group has put together for everybody out there in the industry. So let's go ahead, Megan, and show that. And everybody wants to get more information about Titan. Yahoo! Okay, I do too. Okay, there we go. So the Titan XT experience. You've all seen this on Roofers Coffee Shop. It has been everywhere. This is great. I mean, just so many exciting things. Melissa, tell us all about it.
So exciting. This is the slide that I've been waiting to get to, because it's like you get awesome stuff, you get awesome stuff, everybody gets awesome stuff. So, right. So there's so many wonderful reasons to choose Titan XT, right? So we've talked about a whole bunch of those, but there's more. No, wait, there's more. So we have a new Titan XT rewards promotion. And we're going to talk about the TAMKO Edge here in just a minute, but it's extra rewards for a period of 2022 on Titan XT. No minimums. So if you want more information about that, you can go to tamko.com/experience Titan. You can get all the details on it. And you can get rewards. There are even better rewards for certified contractors. So if you like TAMKO and you like Titan, you should get certified. Yeah. Then there's also, Heidi's not joking. We will mail you a Titan shingle. So part of what we've been talking about today is when contractors get Titan in their hands, they react positively to it. We know that lots of people have heard of Titan XT, but not nearly as many people have had a chance to try Titan XT yet. And we like to do something about that, because we're pretty sure if you feel it, you'll want to try it. And if you try it, you're going to like it. So we'd like very much to send contractors a Titan XT shingle with some other really cool stuff in there. And there's a chance for you to get some swag. So it's a little plug there. So we, there it is. Megan just dropped a link in the chat. If you go to that, that's a form. Go there, put your information in there, and we will mail you a Titan XT shingle, some literature. You'll be able to learn more about Titan XT with a letter and a survey card, and the chance to get some swag. And then we are going to be doing demos at some various shows and customer events. So, check out your local distributor and see if there's one of those scheduled, or if you can tell them, say, hey, I want you guys to do a demo of Titan XT, and we'll send some people out there to do it for y'all. And then the last thing is the TAMKO Edge, right? Not only did we launch 2 new shingles, new shingle line, and in 2021, but we also launched a new contractor program. It's the TAMKO Edge. It's a contractor loyalty program. There are so many perks. It's not just for certified contractors, although we have 2 tiers of certified contractors and you guys should check it out. But there's also amazing perks for people who are not certified, right? You want to have a relationship with TAMKO though. This is how you're going to be able to be eligible for rewards. It's how you're going to be able to submit your rewards digitally. There are really, really fantastic vendor discounts and special offers from some of the industry's biggest names, including Roofers Coffee Shop as part of our affinity programs in there, even for non-certified contractors, right? Go in there, you can get free stuff, you can get awesome discounts. There's no reason. Everybody, we have an Edge store. If you're a contractor and you come in and you join the TAMKO Edge, you have some funds stuck in your account you can use in our Edge store to buy yourself a hat, buy yourself, a mug, and get some cool TAMKO branded stuff. There you go. That's what I know.
And immediately eligible for our rewards program as well.
So Kim, I want you just to kind of, I've been watching you and Melissa work on this and really kind of put that out there on the inspiration to, I don't think I know of any place that says, come in, all you have to do is register and you're going to have free money and free stuff. I think it's brilliant. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, well, we're excited to be able to offer what we know contractors want, right? It's amazing what people will tell you when you ask them and then you listen and actually take that feedback into account. And so the Edge is built around the ultimate experience for the contractor. What do they need? What are they after? How can we make their lives better? How can we help them on their business side? We have this amazing upload options for their purchases so that they can get quick access to their rewards for their cash back, and keeping them up to date on what all those offers are and what's available to them and where they're at in their statuses in real time. So really helping them with their back end office processes as well, truly, and then getting them these great offers on all of the other programs like Roofers Coffee Shop, right, where we have this affinity program. They can get a great discount just for being a member of our Edge program. So, but it's about what the contractor needs, right? And so offering something for every type of contractors. We have our Team TAMKO level, we have our TAMKO Pros and our Mastercraft Pros, which are the certified tiers within that. So what are your needs, right? Do you want to have the ability to offer enhanced warranties and you want to lead with TAMKO? Then being a certified contractor with us has a lot of benefits. But there are also benefits for our Team TAMKO members as well. And so, and using Titan XT will only increase those benefits for you, right? Because we have such fantastic offers for using Titan XT through our rewards programs. So I would encourage contractors to go to that TAMKO Edge and go read about it, go learn about it. Get with your distributor and get in touch with the TAMKO sales rep because they would love to talk to you about it.
I think, okay. And so just real quick, so everybody kind of has this top of mind. I know that you're working on a promotion and Melissa, I don't think you said the dates for it where they can get extra rewards by trying Titan and using
it's
Titan.
live right now and it goes until you'll have to go to the website to find out for sure. But right now it's in June.
Yeah.
So act now. But yeah, so there are standard rewards. I mean, you don't even have to be certified. Like join our program, literally go to tamkoedge.com and sign up. It takes 2 minutes to sign up. You'll be immediately eligible for rewards and on Titan purchases right now through I think it's June 1st. Yes.
I think so.
Looking, I think that you'll be able to actually earn more money back on Titan purchases. But if you want more information specifically on the Titan rewards promotion, I would say go to the tamko.com/experience Titan, right? So that's that one. If you want to know more about TAMKO's Edge program, right? All the benefits of our rewards or of our contractor loyalty program, you can go to tamko.com/edge. And then if you're like, man, I'm in, I don't even need any more information, just sign me up. You can go to tamkoedge.com and that registration, it literally takes about 2 minutes. And there are immediate benefits right there that you can start benefiting from.
I think cool. And trust me, in working with Melissa and Kim and Chris, they're always like coming up with something new. It's like, oh, guess what? We're going to do this now.
Yep.
So you got to kind of get in there so that you're getting this information and experiencing it and trying it out. And honestly, how cool would it be to get a shingle in the mail? I don't know. I just think that's kind of, maybe I'm a roofing geek, but I think it's pretty cool. So, okay.
Yeah, that's what we would say is like, if you don't believe, if you think we're being marketing people about Titan XT, please, I'm asking you, sign up for that shingle, and then you tear it up, right? You rip it up, you scrape it up, you step on it, you try to peel apart the polyester layer. You do it. If you don't believe the stuff that we're saying about how amazing the technology is, then you do it. You press your fingers into the sealant. That's really the goal. We want to send it to you. So please sign up for a shingle and we'll send it to you. And then if you liked it, if you didn't like it, use that feedback link and tell us what you thought.
Yeah.
And it's also why Chris is here with us today, right? We have scientists and engineers working on these things all day, every day. Those are their full-time jobs, right? We're coming at this from every angle. So
yeah, it's, well, and obviously, you know, to really encourage people to do the feedback, because like you said earlier, you listen, and that's obvious because look at the shingle you have out there now, right? The technology, it's all from listening. So that kind of feedback is just so critical. We do have a couple questions and only a few minutes left. So one of the questions I definitely want to make sure we get out there is, where can I get Titan XT shingles? So where can they buy it?
So many different places, but if you'd like to find a dealer or a distributor near you, I would go to, and there should be a link in here, but it's tamko.com/dealer. And you can actually go in there, filter for Titan XT if you specifically want to see who has ordered Titan XT recently, and it'll bring up a list of dealers and distributors in your area who have purchased Titan XT recently, and you can contact them.
Perfect. So tamko.com/dealer. So Megan's probably going to type that in to our box here. The other question that I have is, oh, how about hail? Someone just asked, how about hail?
I love this question, and here's why. It gives me a chance to talk about our other ProLine shingle. So Titan XT is a remarkable shingle. It is not rated for hail impact. However, if you're interested in all of the technologies that we just talked about, there is a shingle for you. It is Stormfighter IR. It's also a ProLine shingle. It has all of the same technologies, the amazing things that we just talked about with Titan XT. The difference is that instead of the poly strip, this amazing anchor lock layer just going through and being embedded in the common bond, instead, the entire back side of both layers of the shingle are completely reinforced with it. So it is beefy. And that shingle is class 4 impact rated. And the same thing, if you want to see who in your area has that shingle, feel free again to go to that same tamko.com/dealer, and you can go in and filter and see who in your area has that shingle.
And one more thing about Stormfighter IR, it also has the highest wind rated warranty available for an impact, for an IR shingle. So
yeah, it has that same 160 mile per hour because it's the anchor lock layer and the same advanced fusion sealants that inspired it for Titan. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Chris, Melissa, Kim, thank you so much. I've even worked on this with you in practice, and I still learned a lot today. So this is great stuff. We so appreciate you sharing this knowledge, listening, and bringing these type of products to the market. Wow, I'm impressed. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Heidi, for having us. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, and thank you, Chris. For everybody out there, thank you so much. Thank you for listening, for watching, for being a part of this. You have the links in the chat. So be sure, if you need anything, of course, you can always find TAMKO on Roofers Coffee Shop. They have a full directory. All this information is on there. And so we are constantly updating that, bringing new articles, sharing the experiences of the contractors. It's all going to be on the site, so you can continue to see all that. I also want to invite all of you to attend our next RLW, which is April 27th, and it's going to be from Rockwool, Rockwool is new to the site, and they're going to be talking about building acoustics. So soundproofing in the roof, in the walls. It's going to be really interesting. A whole new insulation, a way of doing things. It's really, really cool. So something you definitely don't want to miss. And of course, this RLW will be available for all of you to watch again, to share with your companies, share with all other roofing professionals out there by tomorrow morning. And you can read it, you can listen to it, and you can watch it, because that's how we do things here at Roofers Coffee Shop. So thank you all for being here today. Thank you, our wonderful guests, and we'll see you next time on an RLW from Roofers Coffee Shop.